Hello, everybody. It's Deb here with the Deb Talks podcast. And today we have the pleasure of having Nicole with us. Yay, again. And Nicole today, she's going to talk a little bit about oils, the young living oils, and what kind of effect they can have on us and how they can help us if we get stressed or get tired or even nauseous. I think there's an oil for everything. And I just thought today that we'll get Nicole to tell us a little bit about even how we can enhance, experiencing our spirituality through even these oils. So Nicole, if you wouldn't mind, introduce yourself again to our listeners and tell us a little bit about these oils that you've been using for a while now.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much, Debbie, for having me here. And I love
Yay.
the essential oils, and I love what you're doing with your community and sharing the beautiful word of what can help people really, I guess, help their and enhance their well-being and quality of life. And
Oh, yes.
this is what you're about, and I love this. So, essential
Yes.
oils, right? Many years ago, my mum, she, introduced me to essential oils in the household. But I found that I was quite sensitive and I found that the smell was quite toxic to my senses. So I was very resistant to smelling essential oils because they felt and they smelled quite toxic. So later on in life, I had friends telling me, Nicole, you need to try these essential oils. I remember I was at a stall at this workshop presentation, and there was this woman there that had all these essential oils there, and everyone's like running to the stall to play with these essential oils, and I'm just like, what's the big hype? Like, I don't really get what the hype is, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, whatever, I'm going to move on. And then one of a lady that I got introduced to through a mutual friend by the name of Joanne, she said to me, Nicole, you need to try essential oils. I go, listen, I've tried essential oils. I don't really get what the big hype is. I've found that I've had some pretty negative experiences with them. She goes, no, Nicole, trust me, these are different. And I go, okay, sure. And so
Hmm.
I traveled to Melbourne where she was months later. And when I got there, my husband and I were sitting in the back of her house with her and her husband, and we're talking. She's like, here, have a smell of this peppermint oil. So she grabs me the bottle of peppermint. I have an inhale. And as soon as I inhale that bottle, I felt my instant connection with, the universe, with Creator. When I pray, I felt that connection. And I was like, okay, there's something different about these oils. And it didn't have that toxic smell. I'm empathic. I feel things very deeply. I'm sensitive to certain things, and that's a really good quality that I have. And so with these, I didn't feel like it was, bringing up anything negative within my cells. So when she then goes, try some of this Digize, because my husband was feeling a bit upset in the tummy. And so
Mm.
Digize is like a blend of different botanicals. And so he puts it on his stomach, and then I put
Mm.
some on my stomach just to, experience it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The next minute, my husband's like going straight to the toilet because he needs to have a release, right? And so
Okay.
I'm like, wow, there's something really different about these. And so I had to, I needed to look into it more to find out what was it about Young Living's essential oils that is so different to the other brands that I've tried in the past that had me feeling very, I don't know, I could tell that they were quite toxic, or there was something impure about them. And I didn't really know
Mm.
much about essential oils. I just thought all essential oils were the same. But when
Yeah.
I started investigating and researching, I started to see that they're not all the same. You can go to the supermarket and you can probably buy a lavender oil for $5, right?
Mm.
And what I started finding out was that some of these brands that are out there in the supermarkets, even chemists, that, what they do is they might put in like 5% of pure essential oil, which might be lavender, and then they fill up the rest with a filler, which,
Mm.
because it's not exactly monitored. It's not something that they have a legality,
Yeah.
body
Anybody can just
around.
make it up.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. And because I mean, it's not like it's having such a strong effect on a human body to the point where it creates disease, for example.
Mm,
But the thing is that in the long haul, like there are so many studies out there, if you look into the publications that will say when you're exposed to certain toxins or certain chemicals, the body can actually get disease, right? And so we don't know exactly what's going into some of these essential oil brands, what they're putting in them. Um,
mm,
but the fact of the matter is, with Young Living, when you look into it and you start to see that they actually design and they create them very differently, where they are
mm.
100% pure. And so
Wow.
I went to the farms. I've gone to Mona, Utah, which is in America. And on their Mona farm, they have like lavender, they grow clary sage, they grow all different botanicals. And when I got there and I smelt the lavender,
Mm,
I was like, wow, this lavender is so pure. My whole body was just embracing the plants because I never smelt something so pure, which started to make
mm.
me see why I was so resistant when I was a child, smelling this toxic one that wasn't really lavender, and actually smelling the true botanical of lavender. And so, what I also discovered was that within Young Living, every seed to harvest cycle, so the moment they plant the seed to the moment that they harvest the crops, it goes through 3.5 years, right? So, this is a long
Wow,
process.
process. Wow. This is such an education for me too, because even I don't know much about oils. And it's like amazing to hear, your story about how Young Living actually takes such good care of getting that pure product out to us. Wow, that's incredible. And I liked what you said. It was profound, actually, when you said, when the lady gave you the peppermint smell and you smelled like you could to connect with the whole universe. Like that's profound. Like I don't even know what to say about that.
Yeah, and that's it. Like if you are somebody who is a feeler, you base it on, your experience of things, then there's no denying that there is something about that product or whatever you have experienced, that there's something pure, something highly intelligent, that it has a high
Mm,
vibration. So it just
mm.
made sense to me to buy these oils,
Yeah.
and um, when I started looking into it even further, I also saw that every single bottle goes through 90 different tests. So
Mm.
to ensure the purity is there, which not any other brand like that, because I looked into other brands, I went on their websites, and so many of them don't disclose what they do to actually manufacture the oils. I mean, there are some
Mm.
independent brands, independent businesses that will, say that they've got it from certain countries, but they don't even know the practices of those countries that are doing the farming. Whereas Young Living are very open in their, disclosure of what they're
What they
doing.
do. I like that. There's nothing to hide.
Exactly right. And you can
Yeah.
go to the farms, it's open to the public. You go there and you can see what they're doing. They're leaving it open. So, and I mean, imagine every single company did that. Like, if every
Mm.
company was that open with showing their practices around how they create products, I bet you
Yes.
any money if people started to know what companies do with their products and how they manufacture them, I
They
bet you any
wouldn't
money.
buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They wouldn't buy it. But again, it's funny how instinctively we know deep down, like you said, when you were a child, you were just repulsed you. Like you know intuitively that that smell is not for healing. And it's funny because I don't know much about oils, but the little bit that I do know is that it's supposed to be calming. It's supposed to be exactly like you said, if you have an upset tummy or so it's kind of medicinal, right?
Yes.
It's kind of medicinal. And one would think that, yeah, companies would try and keep it to its highest standard, but that's great that Young Living is doing that. And I wanted to ask you also about, so you have, let's say, if you can pick 5 of your favorite ones, and then just tell us, like, what do they do? Because, on our podcast here, I like to introduce people to different ways of how you can implement spirituality in your daily life. And for example, like if you have a headache and you can't connect with yourself, or you feel in a frenzy, or you feel upset, and so if people can know what kind of oil they can help to bring that peace back, to bring the calm back, so that they can connect with themselves. So if you can share with us, since you know obviously the product so well, if you can take maybe 3 or 4 or 5 of them that you could say what kind of qualities they would carry that can help us to reach that connection to self.
Absolutely. So I am going to go back to peppermint because it was my first oil that I got introduced to.
I feel like I need to get the peppermint now too. I want to smell that and just see what I experience when I smell it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing about this peppermint oil is that it's so versatile with its functions, because depending on how much of it you use can actually change the effect of what it does for you. So say, for example, you using a little bit of the peppermint oil will actually give you a lot of energy. It will increase your energy. So if you have a task at hand that you need a lot of energy for, using a little bit of that will really help you. But let's say that you want to calm down. Using a bit more of the peppermint oil will actually calm your body, calm your senses.
Slow you down.
Relax.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. Super. And where would you apply it? Like if you were to apply it on the body somewhere, where would you apply it?
So if I'm looking at something that needs to increase my energy or relax my energy and I want the effects immediately, I put it underneath my feet, because when you place it underneath the feet, it goes to all the systems of the body, and that oil gets absorbed within your skin within like 30 seconds, right? So it works really quick.
That's incredible. So under the feet, I must remember that, because I thought it would be here at the, what do you call the wrists? Because that's what I've seen people do traditional. So I was like, oh, put a little bit on your wrist, but you're saying no, under the feet. Okay, one trick done, under the feet. Got to try that a little bit if you want energy, a little bit more if you want to relax, calm down.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
peppermint, yay.
And it's also so great, like if you're experiencing any like tension around the head area, that occasional tension that you're feeling, peppermint is amazing. And all you do is you rub it into the temples, and you'll start to feel within minutes that that tension or that pressure that you're feeling around the head area will lift. I've seen this happen time and time again. So if you are somebody who gets, the occasional headache or migraine, peppermint oil is amazing for that too. And if you're out and about, and this is why some people will put it on the wrist, because they're out and about, right? They don't have the time to maybe take off their shoes. But what I like to do is I like to put it at the end of my spine. So if I'm out
at the base of your spine.
Yeah, because that will shoot up through, your skeletal, your spine, nervous system.
Your nervous system, immune system, everything is at the base of the spine. Haha, gotcha. Wow, I'm learning so much. And like I said, peppermint. So, I mean, I don't know, like when you said you could use it if you have a headache, like what does it do? Like from a science perspective, like if you have a headache, some things are happening, right? So how does the peppermint actually then work to get the headache away?
Well, it has those medicinal properties, right? As you said, it's like the oils. And what's different about the Young Living is that they have the medicinal therapeutic benefits. They go deep to the core because they're made with the highest standards. So it's like, see it as though that you're like making a salad, right? And let's say you're making a meal and you're making that with love. You will feel the benefits of that meal when it's done with love, for example, right? As opposed to, when you've had those experiences of you've had a meal and it's been,
mechanically done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. Okay.
But from a scientific perspective of what happens is that oil just goes to the root. It's like your body has a natural intelligence of knowing what it is that you need. And if you have an intention of doing something, right? Let's say that let's say that you're feeling some kind of anxious energy. You don't know what it is. You don't know where it's coming from, but your intention is to lift that vibration. It's almost like So you put that oil on, and what you'll start to see is that it will just it has that natural intelligence, because we're co-creating that experience of what we need to shift within ourselves. Um, but going back to the scientific point of view, when you inhale that aroma, it goes to the limbic system, the limbic part of the brain, and so that's where our emotions are stored. And so if something's out of balance, the oils can help us put it
To
back into
restore balance. To restore balance. Excellent. Thank you for that explanation. All right, peppermint number 1. Make your list, people.
So the next oil and this is the number one oil, like across the world, the most used essential oil, which is lavender.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
Lavender is so beautiful. It's so fragrant. It has a beautiful
And
aroma.
cleansing. Very
Yeah.
cleansing, very high. And I know that actually about lavender because when you do a lot of energetic work, like there's a lot of people who does energetic clearing, like if you're doing with Reiki or whatever, people use lavender as a way to cleanse. That's what
Yeah.
I know about lavender, and that's about it.
That's awesome. Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Lavender has like over 100 different uses that you can use.
Wow.
It's
Okay.
it's incredible. I pop 2 drops of this in my diffuser every night before I go to bed, and it helps me have the most relaxing, calming sleep.
Deep
And
sleep.
deep sleep.
Mm.
And that diffuser will go for like 8 hours, right? 2 drops of lavender is all I need because I'm that sensitive to them, but it's also because they are so high quality. You don't need to use
Yes.
much of it at
Yeah.
all. So with lavender is similar to peppermint in the sense that when you use minimal lavender though, it actually gives you a relaxing effect versus when you do more lavender, it gives you more energy.
Energy. Got you. So opposite. Don't forget, peppermint and lavender works opposite. I
You don't
love
want to,
that. Yeah. So, oh my God. So the lavender, I know, like I said, I've always known that you use it as a way to cleanse as well. Like, you can cleanse your hands, your aura and stuff like that with
yeah,
lavender.
yeah.
Awesome.
And just even taking that beautiful whiff of lavender will help you relax and calm. So, if you are somebody who likes to meditate, or if you find yourself at work and you're experiencing high stress, lavender is such a great way to calm the senses down. I mean, so many of women that I know that have, they have their jobs, they go into their offices. What they do is they set up their little diffuser at the office table, they put the essential oils on, and it will just calm your work environment. So, then if you are somebody who can feel a bit overwhelmed by, work around you or something like that, or the people or the workload or the negativity, having the essential oils within your workspace is so calming, so calming.
Yeah, because it makes sense though, because everything is energy, right? So if you're sharing a space with people and there's this frantic energy, it catches on to you. And if you're a person that's already have high anxiety or, and then when that comes on to you, it doesn't help you at all. You become more like, in a frenzy. And so it can help. So this is really wonderful to know. Because sometimes we can't help ourselves. Like if people are suffering from anxiety or depression even, or any of those kinds of, stuff that can happen for us, it's nice to know that the oils can be a bridge, can help you to get to that calm place, because sometimes we don't know how to get there. I mean, there are different people do different things. People can meditate, they can do yoga, they go for a walk, they go for a swim. But then when you can't do any of those things, at least you can use some essential oils. So that's
Yeah.
fantastic to know. Yeah,
Yeah, because life happens, right? And when we're on that journey
exactly.
of supporting our health, the essential oils have such a great way of supporting us. Like, I don't know if you could tell, but I've just been getting over a cold. And so I've been using eucalyptus like every day. And it has been like giving me this warm hug, helping me
To breathe.
breathe.
Yeah.
It
Isn't it
just,
funny? That's the one thing I know about eucalyptus as well. I do know a few little things that I forgot. I knew like eucalyptus, if you have like a cold, your nose is blocked, you just do a little eucalyptus, opens the pathways so you can actually breathe. Oh my God, I know that too.
There you go. You know a
It's
lot.
yeah, a little bit. It's so fantastic though to hear all these things again, because like I said, we must use whatever we can that can help us, to find the balance. It's always about, I think it's important for us as human beings to understand that, that we have to find that balance. We can't always stay in this high, like worry and fear and anxiety state, because your nervous system is just running out of control, right? And so that's how disease sets in. So you want to try and help and support your body so that if things are happening out of your control, that you can at least, maybe use some eucalyptus or use some peppermint or use some lavender. I really think, it can be so helpful for people just to get that little break.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Another oil that I absolutely love, and this is like a Young Living signature blend, which is called Valor. Valor
Valor,
is the
Valour.
Valor.
Oh, just OR, Valor. Okay.
So this oil was created based on the botanicals that the Romans used to put on themselves before they would go
They go
into.
fight,
Yes.
right? Okay. So what does that do? It gives you energy. It gives you like oomph to go. It gives you like,
It
okay, I'm
gives
gonna put down a bottle of that too.
so it gives you courage, right? So if you are somebody who and it's got such calming effects as well, it puts you into a balance. So it has the same frequency of your skeleton, of your skeletal system, the same energetic frequency. So they've measured the skeletal system frequency and they measured the valor frequency, and it's the same one. So what it does is it helps ground, it helps to balance your polarity. So we all have that feminine and masculine energy, so sometimes we could be on the go, working, and so Valor helps to bring us back to center and ground us down. And so there is a technique that we do called Valor Balance, and what it is you place 3 oils in your left palm and then you rotate 3 times, right? So when you rotate your palms 3 times, what it does is it activates the oil, and then you place your left palm on your left foot and your right palm on your right foot. And you can do this like when you're doing happy baby, right? So you're on your back, and you just hold that oil. And what you do is you close your eyes and take a few deep breaths in, and you start to feel the oil coming up your up your body, up your legs, coming into your body, up your head. And it does this beautiful, like I see it as the like figure 8, where it just puts things into balance and the energy starts to flow. So Valor is incredible for balancing. You can also place it on your thymus gland, which is just in your higher heart. And so the thymus gland metaphysically represents courage. And when we think about when
When you
Romans
have
would.
to go do something you're afraid of, and you're just like, okay, I'm going to use this oil. I'm just going to go forward and do that thing. Yay! That sounds amazing. I'm loving this so much. All this good information. Okay, so one more. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 so far. We've got space for one more.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about Digize, because that's, going
Digize.
back
How do you
to
spell that?
Digize.
Z-E. Digize. Got it.
So this is another blend by Young Living, and to be honest, when I first smelled it, I was not a fan. I was like, oh my gosh, it smelled like, it wasn't like a toxic repellent, but it was more like, oh wow, this smell is like something I have not smelt before. And so what I realized was that when I had a look at the ingredients that were in this blend, you've got tarragon, ginger, peppermint, fennel, and aniseed. And at the time, I was having some digestive problems. And so when I smell aniseed at that time, it was like, oh, like my body needs this, but this smell is so foreign to me. So what I started to do was I started to carry this oil with me. So then I could get, I guess, familiar to the frequency. And so after a week of carrying it and I would smell it, I was not repelled by the scent anymore, in the sense of,
Mm,
because my body needed it. I had digestive problems. So when we've got
mm,
certain problems that are happening within our body, we can repel from a scent, but there is a difference between repelling from a scent when we need it versus when it's toxic. And I know the difference
mm,
between the two because I've been working on myself for so long. I know when I
mm,
need something and I know when something just doesn't seem right or feel right about
mm,
it. So
mm,
Digize is incredible for allowing yourself to digest with ease, right? So if you've had a big
mm,
meal or if you're on that journey of fixing your gut health, Digize will help just allow the process of your body to digest the food with ease. It's also great for grounding. And another fun fact is if you have the oil, one of the things that you can do is you can get those lava beads and you can place them in your car, right? And so my
mm.
friend, she put those lava beads in the car and she put the Digize oil in there. So when she was going on long road trips,
Mm,
the kids would calm down every time she
mm.
put Digize on. And so it created this relaxing, grounding, calming environment where the kids were not, yelling or,
And agitated as kids get bored because they're just sitting there and they start picking on each other. And and they keep asking, are we there yet? And you just want to stop the car and throw them out. Been there, done that.
Yes.
So there you are, folks. If you have small kids, I don't have them anymore, but if you do, Digize, okay? Are we there yet? No. Oh,
Yeah.
wow, this sounds amazing because there's this article that I read about disease that's set in a lot with starting in the gut. So if your gut is not healthy, you know, you have to fix it because that's the root cause of most disease that's set in. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's worth it to take the time to do whatever you need to do to help your digestion problems if you have some. Um, and this seems like a very non-invasive, easy, because I know there are lots and lots of things. Of course, there are lots of things in the market that you can do. And this one says do this, and the other one says, oh no, don't do that. And so it's really can become very confusing to find your way through all this. And it's nice to hear because you're obviously talking about these oils, and they are not, they were just not made yesterday. They've been around for quite a long time. And I think a lot of thought and process has gone into giving us the highest quality. So you can trust in it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So Digize. Okay. So wow, is that the top five then? Would you say? Would you like to add one more? Like we could obviously add one. I mean, like five seems like so little, but just to because when people are not like I don't have oils. Like I've also gone through phases, and I always find that 2 years have passed, I can throw it out now. Like I try it once or twice, and like it's never been a big thing for me. But I'm really probably going to give some of these a try because I can see and hear in the way that you talk about it, because I'm the same. Like my body can recognize good stuff straight away. And I would really love to give some of this a try, and I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. And why not have these things on hand, if you need it to make your life a little easier to come back to that balanced state, right? So I'm definitely going to give this a go again. So like I said, I have tried oils over the years, but nothing ever stuck with me. And because every time I find myself, it's 2 years have gone and I have to throw it out now. And it's just like, well, it's just a waste of money, right? So money and time. So, but I will definitely like the way that you've described this. It seems like it's a whole different experience. And, I'm always happy to try things that can help us to come back to balance when we're out of balance, because in our everyday life things go out of balance, and it's not always that you have the time to do bigger things. And this seems like something so non-invasive. It's easy to put in your house or in your office, so it'd be wonderful to give it a try. So yeah, by any means, if you would like to choose one more, we have time,
Yeah.
because even I'm interested.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna go with, I mean, there's so many, but I will go
Yeah.
with orange. And the reason I'll go with
Ooh.
orange is because I mean, it took me a while to get on board with orange, just for the simple fact I didn't know much about it in the beginning, but I kept getting drawn to it energetically. And so what I found with orange was it actually helped me with times of anxiousness. So if I felt anxiousness
Mm.
in my, because we can feel it right in
Solar
our,
plexus.
yeah.
Mm.
And
And
you know,
sometimes
that's
we don't even know why. It just arises out of nowhere because it's kind of like what happens to us is everything is energy, and when we've had that signature once before, maybe when we were in our childhood or something, it sits there, and so anything can trigger it, like we know about it or don't know about it, but all of a sudden we'll just get anxious. Or sometimes because we are these energetic beings, like maybe you feel like something is going to happen or something bad, or you just get like a little intuition about it, and then it'll set off this anxious feeling, and you can't stop it, you can't get yourself out of it. So that's another tool that we can use, right?
absolutely. And you know, they don't expire. What's great about the oils is they don't expire ever. Like I've got oils that have been here for a few years now. I mean,
Mm,
I've been with Young Living for about nearly, yeah, about 3.5 years, two,
mm,
about 3.5 years now. So yeah, like with orange, it helped me is, yes, absolutely remove that anxiousness, but it's also so great for calming. I mean, you wouldn't think about that for orange in sense of when you think about orange, it's so great in terms of like, I know when I eat orange, it helps boost my energy. And that's
yeah,
another thing
vibrance.
that it can do. Yeah,
Hmm.
vibrancy. But I also pop that at some nights in the diffuser with the lavender. So I'll put a couple of drops in there and it's so calming, so great for before bedtime as well to help you put yourself into a nice deep sleep. Because like, let's be real, there may be days where your mind is very busy, right? You're thinking about all the things that happen in
Mm.
your day or all the things that you're going to be doing tomorrow. And so the oils have such a great way to help just allow the mind to switch off so you can relax and go into a beautiful deep night's sleep. So that's one of my nightly rituals is having the oils there so they can help me go
Oh,
to sleep.
wow. That's fantastic. And I wanted to say about, so a lot of our anxiousness and stuff that comes up really happens in the logical mind, right? So we know through meditation and yoga and different techniques that people can use to kind of transcend that logical mind. So would you say then that the oils is a way of helping us to just go beyond that logical mind and go into that state of being, that pure consciousness state that helps us to, would you say that it helps to connect to that pure consciousness that you are? Would you say that?
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, with peppermint, I mean, even frankincense, I know we haven't spoken about that, but frankincense is
Mm,
so great for meditation, connection, and just
yeah.
having that beautiful inhale. What it does is, like we said, like it goes into the limbic part of the brain, and so that
Mm,
will allow that emotional release to happen. But when you have that coupled with your intention to pray, to meditate, it
mm,
absolutely connects your intention with your sense of smell, and you're able to
mm,
be clearer and more at peace with how you know, begin your day or end your day or wherever you're at and wanting to transcend those thoughts and increases that connection. Absolutely.
wow, that's so fantastic, Nicole. I'm so grateful that you shared your knowledge with us today about these oils. Like I said, I have myself dabbled in it a little bit here and there, but I never truly have heard anybody talk about it with this intention that you have. And it makes total sense to me because it's kind of like that's how I am with food in a way. Like, there's a connection with my food, what I eat and how you eat and what time of the day you're eating it. And like you just connect with your higher self about, will this serve me if I eat it now? Or how much should I have of this? Like I'm always in connection with the self about food. And I think this is just another tool that we could use, if disease come or anxiety come or something comes that you can, you're not in a situation where you can do much to change it, but like if you just take out the oil and maybe you could rub it at the back of your spine or on your wrist or something, and why not, like we have these oils here as a gift to us, so we should really use them to
Absolutely.
connect. Yeah, because everything is about, how can we help to connect to our higher being. because the world is very distracting, isn't it? And the thoughts are very distracting, and sometimes the thinking and the emotions and the feelings get in the way of us feeling at ease and feeling balanced and at peace. It is easy and it's not easy to get into balance, but once you learn that there are all these tools and techniques that you can use, and then why not, right? And like we have special people and places that are making these to make it easy for us, so why not use it? Yeah. So Nicole, I just want to thank you so much for taking some time out again and helping us to be more informed about how we can use oils and how we can use oils to enhance our living, to enhance our connection to our true self, to enhance, feeling elevated, to enhance feeling peace. So I really thank you for that. And I will put all the information for Nicole at the bottom of our podcast, so you can reach out to her. If you want to know anything more, I'm sure there's lots and lots more to know about the oils, but we'll stop here with these sticks. And I personally will try some of these, and I will let you know. I'm sure I'm going to love them. I'll give them another go, and especially since they don't expire, so I don't have to throw them out after 2 years, even if I still have some. So thank you so much, Nicole. I appreciate it. She's joining us here all the way from Australia. It's a different time zone, so I appreciate so much that you made the time to talk to us about this. I just like to inform people about anything that's out there that can help us live our best spiritual lives and how we can implement it in our daily life. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be hard. It's something simple. And I appreciate that so much, that you took the time. And we will talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. Bye-bye.
Bye.